All right, welcome in. I'm the Kodiak Broncos Podcast, and today I'm here to talk about some scenarios for the Broncos if they decide to pass on a running back early in the draft. But before we get into it, I just want to say a couple things. First of all, leave a like if you enjoy, subscribe if you're not already. You'd always wait till the end. Hopefully, I'll have heard it. Let's give me 500 before the draft. Why not? And I also just want to say go follow my good friend Marky Sports. He's only 25 away from 1,000. Let's get him 20 to 1,000 before the draft as well. Yeah, let's dive right into it. So, let's just say, for the sake of this argument, there's a lot of ways that the Broncos can improve this upcoming draft, and it's not mutually exclusive on how they can do it. We have a lot of needs. We have a lot of needs on a team. After being a resource-strapped team over the past few years, our team is definitely not perfect, and we saw the shortcomings of it down the stretch this past year. But, let's just say we go defensive line in round one. Let's just say we go wide receiver round two, and tight end round three. And the order for this doesn't matter. But that is a very realistic scenario for the Denver Broncos, even though everybody and their mother is still mocking Omari and Hampton to us at number 20. So we go full on fantasy football and we decide to go RB0. And the reason I think we can go with something like this is because, values have shifted in the NFL, but running back ultimately still is a position that's so dependent on so many other factors, like dependent on the offense, dependent on the quarterback, dependent on the offensive line. And last year, the trash run game was not just because our running backs sucked. Like, where's Javonte Williams, Jaleel McLaughlin, and Audric Esme a backfield that anybody feared? Absolutely not. But, it goes beyond that. We had no intermediate passing game. We had no legit middle of the field weapons. We also had no viable tight end threat. And I feel like with the Broncos getting better in that regard over the past or this upcoming offseason, I feel like it's going to have a trickle down effect and our run game is going to be better as a result. And roster building in the NFL is an opportunity cost based game. So here's what it could look like. So here's the first backfield archetype I have, which is angry runners. Now, first of all, Scatterboo, I'm not really sure of his range because, I've seen him mocked anywhere from the third to the sixth round. So for the sake of this, let's just take him in the fourth just to secure we get or just to ensure we get our guy. But then we take Cam Scatterboo, and then in the sixth round we pair him with Kyle Monangai. So the idea behind this archetype is you get two guys who will punish defenders that tackle them. You get two guys who are just flat out going to lower their helmet and go into the defenders and make them hurt a little bit, make them feel like maybe not make them feel like themselves for the next handful of plays or so. But the idea behind this is, this is my ideal short yardage situation where, Monangai running behind Scatterboo is you just get two angry guys who are just out there and just looking to punish defenders. And my main complaint with the Broncos last year is how bad we were in short yardage situations. Where we get on 4th and 1, yes, we converted it at the third highest rate in the league. But so many times on 2nd and 1, 3rd and 1, we wouldn't pick up the first down. That's just absolutely embarrassing. And, for the NFL, that's shifting towards more of a possession-based league and, picking up those short yardage things and, having a drive-sustaining offense is more important than ever. Then, yeah, I want to see us being able to convert more of those this year. And ultimately, that's where I think we should go with this. So if you're going to have Cam Scatterboo play the H-back role, as well as Kyle Monangai run behind him, that sounds good to me. Backfield number 2, Temu Lions. So this basically is your Thunder and Lightning. This is basically your Sonic and Knuckles. This is basically your whatever you want to call it when you have a big bruiser paired with a speedy guy. So we have Damian Martinez and Backfield Tootin. So here's what you're getting with this backfield. You get a very solid 2-down between the tackles grinder, who is very, very tough to bring down. Damian Martinez, if you have not seen some of his runs where he just stays up and stays up and stays up, it's absolutely fantastic. But he can also catch passes. And he is really, really good. So I'm a huge fan of his game. I also think he's really good in the red zone as well. So he reminds me a lot of David Montgomery. I know that, one of the people I trust most when it comes to NFL draft content compared him like basically to a T to David Montgomery because Damian Martinez's playing weight is around 230. So yeah, but you also get a guy with legit 4.32 speed and Backfield Tootin and vision. The only thing I will say is that I don't think Tootin is going to be a Sean Payton guy just because he fumbles a lot, or at least that's what a lot of people have said or that have evaluated him for the negatives is that they don't really trust his fumbling ability to hold up or something like that. But, I don't know whether that's an issue or not to the NFL teams. Then, yeah, I don't know. That's not up for me to decide. But ultimately, I still think Tootin is worth a shot, especially in the 6th round. And if he doesn't make it out of training camp, then it is what it is. But yeah, so this is basically the Temu Lions backfield that I have assembled for the Broncos in this exercise. Backfield number 3, speed kills. So if you just decide to go with just flat out speed, you think that you were tired of watching Audric Esme run in mud last year. You were tired of Javonte Williams running like his feet were stuck in concrete. Uh, not wet concrete, but dry concrete, that is, then yeah, you're going to go with some speed in the backfield as well. And this is if you want explosiveness in your backfield and you want some juice. So with our 4th-round pick, we have Brashard Smith, who was a converted wide receiver to the running back position. So not only are you getting a fast running back, you're getting a guy who can, in theory, be a good weapon out of the backfield as well. And with our 6th-round pick, we're going to stick with Basil Tuten as well. Now, the draft order doesn't really matter for these guys. I could see it easily being flipped by the time the NFL draft comes around, because by the time it's day 3, I don't know, you're just kind of throwing darts. So you're just kind of seeing what's out there. But if you felt like the backfield only missed speed, then you take your 4.32 and your 4.39 40-yard dash guys. So you get a guy who used to play with the wide receiver position and Smith, and you try to recreate. This is basically a version of the Miami backfield that ran us over in 2023. You try to recreate the A-Chain Mostert dynamic. You try to recreate, having the bigger dude. Actually, neither of these guys are bigger dudes, but yeah, ultimately, this is how I would construct a speed kills backfield. Backfield number 4, efficiency over explosiveness. So this is if you want like a chain moving, grind clock sort of deal, and this is what your offense would look like. This is what your backfield would look like in that regard. So Ollie Gordon and Rocket Sanders, that's a really exciting tandem if you decide to go this route. I mean, I'm not really a huge fan of either of these two's game, but what I will say is that if you want like a thicker backfield, if you want to trot out Gordon, Sanders, and Estime, and you're just going to run out a fall forward sort of a backfield, and you're going to let your other skill position players, like guys like wide receiver, do all the explosive plays, then yeah, then this is for you. But you also get some speed because Rocket Sanders, I think he tested really, really well. And these guys are both definitely some wild cards because these guys, I will say, they underwhelmed in college football, all things considered. Like, Ollie Gordon was one of the most hyped running backs coming into this year. Like, if you looked at any way too early running back rankings in the 2025 draft, Gordon was top 3, same with Donovan Edwards. But if you look at Rocket Sanders' production 2 years ago, it was absolutely incredible. And in 2023, he really didn't do a whole lot to build on that. So I thought that he was going to enter the 2024 draft, but he didn't end up doing so. And that sucks because I really felt like he could have been a top pick if he stayed on the trajectory he was on. But, this is basically guys who were supposed to be at one point something, and then they kind of ended up fizzling out or whatever. But that's not me to say that these guys won't be productive NFL players. But yeah, this is my efficiency over explosiveness. Backfield, once again, you try to play the, grind clock possession style of game that you'll need to beat teams like the Chiefs. Like, let's just say you're in a defensive war against the Chiefs, like 16-14 again. But let's say the script is flipped this time, and we have the lead, and you just need guys to run out the clock. You have 5 minutes left in the game. Boom, here you go. Ollie Gordon and Rocket Sanders as well. So yeah, that basically does it for me. So this is basically a laundry list of scenarios that I think are not unrealistic, but I think it's a little far-fetched that the Broncos don't use a top 3 pick on a running back, but you never know. Top 3 round pick, that is, but you never know. You never know because there could be a handful of other guys at other positions that the Broncos just like more. So yeah, that basically does it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Mile high salute.